As United States President Donald Trump's trade war with China heats up, something very interesting is happening. China is now trying to be cozy with India. After facing massive tariff from the United States, China is reaching out, saying India and China should stand together as two of world's biggest developing countries. Let me tell you what is exact story. So this week, Trump imposed a massive 104% tariff on Chinese goods. That means products made in China will become twice as expensive as they are sold in America. This is a big blow to Chinese economy, which heavily depends on the exports. The reason? China refused to remove its own 34% retaliatory tariff on American products before a deadline that is set by none other than Donald Trump. Then, in response, China didn't just complain, it started changing its tone with India. In fact, a Chinese embassy spokesperson in India, Yu Jing, shared a message saying that India and China should support each other. She said that both countries are facing unfair treatment from the United States, specifically as global South nations trying to grow their economies. She called the US tariff abuse that stops developing nations from rising. Well, isn't it weird? Why is China talking sweet to India all of a sudden? Let's be real. China and India aren't exactly best friends. From border tensions in Galwan to competition in the tech and manufacturing sector, things have been really tense between the two nations. But now that China is feeling the heat from Trump's aggressive trade policies, it seems to be looking for a friend. And India, being a rising global power and world's fastest growing major economy, is becoming too important to ignore. China is saying now that its trade with India is based on mutual benefit. It supports economic globalization and opposes trade wars. It contributes around 30% of global economic growth every single year, and that it wants to work through the World Trade Organization to keep fair trade and balanced. Well, China's spokesperson also said that trade and tariff wars have no winner and that countries should avoid unilateral decisions like what Trump is doing. Well, on the other side, Trump is pushing even harder. On his social media platform, Truth Social, he posted that China wants to make a deal badly, but doesn't know how. He warned earlier this week that if China don't back off its own tariff, the US will hit back really hard. And he did. He even said that more tariffs are coming, specifically on industries like pharma and electronics area, where countries like India also export heavily to the US. If we see it from a pro-India perspective, then this is the golden opportunity. Let me tell you why. India is already replacing China as a manufacturing hub for companies like Apple, and also the global investors are now more interested in China plus one strategy, meaning that they want to invest in other countries to avoid over-dependency on China. With China and the US fighting now, India has become the balancing power, specifically in the global trade and tech. But India also needs to be very careful. Just because China is now acting friendly doesn't mean that it has changed its core politics. Economic partnership should benefit India without risking national security or its sovereignty. China is feeling concerned by Trump's trade war and is trying really hard to rebuild ties with India. But India now holds the stronger card. With its booming economy, global goodwill, and rising influence, India is becoming the go-to country for trade, tech, and diplomatic partnership. Whether India chooses to respond to China's sudden friendliness or not, one thing is clear: the world is watching New Delhi now more than ever.